Hi and welcome to my channel. Like all my videos, we're going to jump right in.
This video is all about how to apply eyeshadow smoothly, and we're going to talk about some updated looks for 2024. The first thing I always do is choose a brush, and today I'm going to use a dual-ended brush. To make sure that you get the smoothest application, you want to make sure that your brushes are clean. I'm using an instant brush cleaner today that's by Cinema Secrets. I like this one a lot because you just dip it, then brush it on a towel, and boom, it's done. Plus, it's really quick drying. If you have an eyeshadow palette that looks like this, you might want to give it a clean. Natural oils from your skin and your fingers can accumulate on the surface of your eyeshadows, and then they can harden, leaving a film, and that can cause your eyeshadow not to blend as well. Next, if you have very oily or very dry skin, you might consider wearing an eyeshadow primer. I'm actually going to skip that step today because my eyes are really well hydrated from my skincare. Either way you want to do it, the next step is you want to have a good setting powder. The setting powder is going to act like a super smoothing buffer between that primer and your eyeshadow. So I'm applying a light amount of translucent loose setting powder from my lash line to my brow. Now when I go get that eyeshadow, I've already got my primer in place or my skincare, my powder over it. So now when I apply that eyeshadow, it's just going to smooth right over all that stuff. The order in which you put on your colors also is going to matter, as well as how much you're applying. I really like to start with kind of my medium or a light color in my crease. Then you're going to dip in your color, but however you like to do it, make sure that you work off any excess before you actually go to your eye. You can tap it off, you can buff it into your wrist first, however it works for you. With eyeshadow, it's always better to start with a little and work up the intensity slowly. Then I like to take a lighter color and work it over the top between the brow and the color that I just placed on. So we're lightly layering on the colors. You might be thinking that you need an expensive set of brushes to make your eyeshadow look better. And the real answer is that you need a good set of brushes, but they don't have to be expensive. Sephora has an essential eye brush set for only $29, so you don't have to break the bank to get good brushes. Now let's go ahead and get into some of the 2024 trends for eyeshadow. You guessed it, blue is going to be a major player this year. Plus, a full range of cool toned colors are going to make a splash this year, but especially blue and possibly gray as well. And if you're wondering if your color eyes can actually pull off blues or not, here's a little guide to help. If you have hazel eyes, you want to opt for a deep blue shade to bring out those green and brown flecks in your eyes. For brown eyes, you're going to combine royal blue, bronze, and copper. And those warm tones are going to work with that rich blue and enhance those beautiful brown eyes. For green eyes, you're going to take warm golds and peaches, and you're going to mix just a little bit of a muted light blue shimmer. And for blue eyes, you're going to opt for warm shades like copper, bronze, and gold, and then you're going to mix in the cool gray blues. Now that I've got a little peachy orangey base going and that light blue on my lid, I'm going to go ahead and grab some matte gray. The gray is just going to enhance the blue without making it more blue. And I'm just going to build that up in the outer corner. I'm kind of excited that color is making a comeback this year. We're getting away from that clean girl aesthetic, the no makeup looks. Of course, I still love those, but not every single day. And honestly, I'm taking this under my eye because I'm so excited that grunge eyeshadow is coming back again. I'm sure you remember grunge makeup from the 1990s. Well, this is going to be more of an updated grunge look this year. And you're going to see several different variations of smoky eyes. Many times I will actually use that makeup brush cleaner in between just to make sure that when I blend from one eye to the other, I'm not actually mucking things up. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you take one color from one eye and then try to blend on another eye, you can end up with more eyeshadow than what you actually intended to be there. And since we're talking about smooth eyeshadow application, I have to stress that it's so important to have clean brushes. So we clean them before, we clean them during, and we clean them after. Now my eyes are really kind of in between a green and a hazel. So I'm going to go ahead and use kind of a royal blue right there on my lash line and just build it up softly. And I'm excited to report about mascara too. This year especially, more colored mascaras are coming back. and in gorgeous colors that we've never seen. Some are the same, like cobalt blue, but we've also got deep green, stellar blue, galactic purple, deep violet, and of course brown. And those are just by one brand, L'Oreal Paris. So you can imagine how crazy everybody's going to get with the colors this year. Oh, and another thing, in 2024, big lashes have vanished from the beauty scene. Instead, thin, wispy lashes now reign supreme. Now that I've got all that eyeshadow under my eyes, I've still got to apply a little bit of concealer to brighten the look and crisp it up, all the while keeping it grungy. I've sprayed my brush with a little setting spray to keep this liquid long enough to where I can actually get it where I want and make it nice and thin. And I'm staying right underneath where I've got that grungy under eye color. I don't want to mess that up. I love using my setting spray this way because it really thins the makeup, and when you apply it this way, it's much more like just a skin look than a thick makeup look. And as always, I'm using my Skindinavia setting spray. It is my absolute favorite. Hands down, ride or die setting spray. The concealer that I'm using is actually two different colors. It's the 9W and the 1W in the Jane Iredale. It's a beautiful concealer. I've actually worn it as a foundation before just to see how it looked on my skin, and it just evens out your skin tone and conceals things perfectly. Even though I've got a discount code for you, I don't want you to buy anything because we're going to do an entire Jane Iredale video in the next 2 weeks, and they have sent me some phenomenal products that I cannot wait to share with you. Once this is done, we're going to throw on some blush, and I'm going to do one last thing to that eyeshadow that's going to make it really pop, and it's going to look fabulous. 2024 blush is going to go from pink to nude. Don't throw away your pinks. Look to your contour palettes for those nudes. And when it comes to lips, it sounds like are all over the place. Some people think it's going to be jelly lips, which is more of a Korean thing where it kind of looks like a see-through lip, but it's got just a little bit of color on it and very glossy looking. And then other people think that it's going to be a really heavy liner look. And I'm just trying to remember the rule of thumb, which is if you go for a more bold eye, you want to tone down your lips. Now I'm going to grab a silvery shimmer, and it's just going to go boom right in the middle of my lid. And the shimmer right in the middle of the lid is just going to give it a little bit of a pop. I'm just barely blending it with my finger. Of course, you can apply this with a brush. I just find that my finger does so much of a better job. Boom, and there we go. I hope this video gave you some ideas about how to come up with your own smooth eyeshadow look. And I sincerely hope you enjoyed the 2024 makeup trend predictions. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. Links are in the description and the top pinned comment.